Do you guys ever get tired? Tired of what, right? Tired of thinking? You know, trying to use your brain in PvP, thinking about a combo or a series of skills that will work together with your sets to put somebody down effectively and in a flashy way. Yeah, me too. Me too. Sometimes I just don't want to think, and I want everything to die while I press one button, you know? So, I'm playing Stamplar again. What is going on, ladies, gentlemen, others? It is your fella, of course, Kuro here today, and I'm bringing you a new video. It's a Stamplar build. Been playing Stamplar again, kind of behind the scenes, not streaming it or anything, just having fun with the class. And I'm going to share with you guys the build that I've been using. It's not super original, it's not super unique, but it is easy to get a hold of. It is very strong and effective, and I don't really know what else to say about that. It just works. It's got a lot of weapon damage, and you can kill people just by jabbing pretty easily on this build. Obviously, I do work on a couple more skills here and there for people that want to, you know, think a little bit. But if you wanted something to use on your Stamplar and you're not sure what right now, this will definitely work out for you. It doesn't require a lot of farming or anything like that, and you can just kind of plug it in and go. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys the build, talk about it, give you all the information that you may or may not need, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Before we get into it though, I do just want to, of course, like usual, shout out my patrons and my YouTube channel members, because you guys are amazing. You guys are my biggest supporters, and you help me keep this dream a reality of doing YouTube and things and being a loser on the internet. It's a very fun time, and I appreciate the shit out of you guys. If you like this video and potentially want to see more in the future, why don't you subscribe if you're not already, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future videos, huh? Maybe even hit that thumbs up button for me, just show a little love. You know, it's free, and it helps me out quite a lot, and I appreciate it. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into this video right now. Let's take a look at this build. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and just jump on into the build here, buffing up a good bit. We're not going to be able to buff up fully, but we'll get pretty damn close. So go ahead and do all this good stuff here. Look at the stats. We got about 7,200 weapon damage, 6k spell damage, which is really nice. 7,000 pen, which is enough. We do have major and minor breach on this build, so that will also go up with our buffed up recovery. We're looking at 1874 stamina recovery, which is very nice. The magic recovery is a bit low, but not too big of a deal. We've got 28,000 health, which can go up depending on a few other factors. We'll talk about those. I have 26 points into my health because 28k is where I wanted to sit. You can make that go up or down based on your preference. You don't need a lot of stam because we do have a lot of damage through other means on here. So you could easily drop down to 24, 25k stam and not really feel much of a problem with your sustain. Because we do have a lot of recovery. Which is why I don't do heavy attacks on this build. Just saying that, even if you do feel like you have a lot of recovery, you need heavy attacks on the Stamplar, because Stamplar's sustain is just inherently shit. That's just that's how it is, guys. So make sure to heavy attack on this build. Max mag, 14,000, whatever. Let's talk about resistance. I don't have a lot, but that's because I don't have a few things that I want to have. I have 24,000 on the back bar, on the front bar, 20,000. We are wearing Magma Incarnate, so we'll get 3,000 more on both bars when that is procced. But outside of that, we are kind of squishy. You can fix that with heavy armor, you can fix that with race, and you can fix that with the Mark and Ring, which I don't have, but I highly recommend you use, and I'll talk about that more when we get to the sets. When it comes to food, I'm using Lava Foot. We'll talk about that when we get to consumables. When it comes to the Mundus Stone, I highly recommend Warrior. A good Mundus Stone to balance out weapon to damage. Jesus, I cannot talk, guys. My brain is all over the place. Let me slow it down a little bit. The Warrior. Warrior is good because it increases both your healing and your damage. If you want to go nuts to butts on damage though, feel free to go with the Lover, because penetration is king and that will give you more damage than this will, but it will not benefit your heals at all. And we like our heals to be benefited. Now when it comes to your race, I am currently playing as an Orc because I like the passives it gets the extra weapon damage, it gets the movement speed with Sprint, I like those. What might be better, and probably will be better, would be Imperial. That will give you the best sustain as well as a lot of health, which is going to benefit you quite a lot, because we do use a lot of Magicka abilities on this build, and the health is always nice no matter what. Personally though, I like Orc, and if I was going to change, I would probably go to Nord, because I like the inherent tankiness that race gets, as well as the ulti gen that race gets. So those are the three that I would recommend the most if you want high speed, high damage, Orc. If you want very good sustain, Imperial. And if you want to be a little tankier and have some ulti gen backing you up, Nord. I actually might change to a normal myself anyway, just because that armor is nice. And that is it for the stat sheet. I think we talked about everything that really matters. I guess we could just look at crit. We got 26.4% crit. That's not crazy, but it's enough at times. Down here into, let's look at the armor first, actually. Let's talk about front bar. I'm sure you guys saw this coming. We got a Deadly Maul on the front, sharpened with a weapon damage enchant. Deadly gives us weapon damage, one line of crit, very nice. 2, 3, 4 right there. We do like the crit because we are a Templar and we have crit passives, very good stuff. And of course increases the damage of your damage over time and channel abilities by 15%. That isn't a whole lot of stuff on our build, but that is our most important skill, being our jabs. And we definitely want those to hit hard. Now, I do know a lot of people that are currently using Essence Thief as their front bar set, or at least somewhere in their build, and Essence Thief is another really good option because it's got a solid 2, 3, 4, and it's 5-piece, helps add sustain, gives you a little bit of a heal, and increases the damage of all of your attacks, which is very helpful. I just, A, can't be fucked to go and farm Essence Thief, no thank you, and B, I don't like having to rely on chasing down a little proc that could literally decide to land anywhere to get my damage. But if you have the time and the willpower to farm that dungeon 15 times, and also have the brain cells left in your head to care enough about chasing around the small little green thing on the ground to get damage, go ahead. That'll probably be better overall, but this is really quick to get. You can buy it, you can grab it from vendors and Bruma. There's a lot of ways to get this that do not require farming, and that is definitely one of the reasons I use it, and it does make you hit very hard. We like the Maul for pen, we like Sharpen for pen, and we're using the weapon damage enchant because this is the only enchant that we have that really helps us deal damage to more than one person. You could go with something like a poison damage enchant for the extra burst on a single target, or disease damage or shock damage, all that. All those are good. I like weapon damage though, because if you turn around and you light attack, you're going to get, 500-ish buffed up weapon damage to start hitting people with your jabs, with your ultimate, and that's going to affect everybody, not just the one guy. On the back bar, we've got Clever Alchemist. Clever Alchemist, very straightforward. We've got a defending weapon and a sturdy shield, and the Clever Alchemist gives health, weapon spell damage. When you drink a potion, you get a big boost weapon spell damage for 20 seconds. I know a lot of people hate this set, but there is no refuting the fact that it is just too damn good. It's just great. It's a good set, it works incredibly well, and I can think of very few reasons to not use this. If you want a different back bar set, Powerful Assault is a good choice. Some people are using things like Wretched Vitality. I wouldn't. I would not use Wretched Vitality. I even messed around with Wretched Vitality on PC just to test it out because I've told you guys a million times not to use that set, and now after using it myself I can reinforce that. Do not fucking use Wretched Vitality, but if you want that sustain, then you know what, go ahead, but you're gonna have a hard time killing people. You want damage. You could backbar Essence Thief, you could backbar Powerful Assault, you could backbar Clever Alchemist. Clever Alchemist is the easiest to use and it gives really solid stats, so I highly recommend you just deal with the shitty uptime and learn how to harness the true power of this set because it's just damn good. Stam enchant on the shield, obviously. And then we have poisons on the back bar because poisons are just the best on a one-handed weapon, in my personal opinion. You guys know this poison if you've watched my build videos before. I always use this on basically everything. Double dot, double hot. So this is going to do some pressure as well as give us a little bit of extra healing. Down into the armor, we've got Magma Incarnate, like I mentioned before. Stam Recov, Mag Recov, when you heal yourself or a group member, blah blah blah, you're going to get 215 weapon and spell damage, 3000 armor. Very solid set right here, and it gives us both recoveries. So this is giving you everything you want: tankiness, sustain, damage, and it benefits your group. Literally no reason not to use this thing on the Stamplar. If you want Balorg, you can use Balorg. If you want Bloodspawn, you can use Bloodspawn. Both of those are going to give you similar results. I just like Magma because it's a balance between all three, but that again is an option. Then I have, of course, the chest piece of the trainee. This is the one. No, this is not the one. Okay, this is just a regular one. There's a way to get this for free from doing a quest on Stros Makai, so if you guys don't already know how to do that, go and do that so you don't buy one like I did, like a fucking idiot. But yeah, chest, trainee, heavy, reinforce, gives you max health. We like max health, it's a nice stat. There is the arm, the shoulder of the Magma, and then down here we've got Deadly Belt, Clever Alchemist Bracers, Clever Alchemist legs, Clever Alchemist feet, deadly, deadly, and then currently I am using the Ring of the Wild Hunt. Do I recommend this? No, I do not recommend this. I highly recommend you guys put forth the effort to get the Marken Ring of Majesty. It is the best ring you could possibly use. Gives you about 2,300 armor, as well as 200 weapon and spell damage. Very, very solid for one piece. If you want to keep the speed from this, then just use 2 Swift with that ring. You're going to have the exact same weapon and spell damage, 1% less speed, so basically in combat the exact same speed, with an extra 2,300 armor. So speaking just stat density wise, Marken is the best choice. But Wild Hunt does make you go zoom zoom fast, so that's why I'm using it right now, because it is a good alternative if you do not have the DLC, if you just don't want to go and get the ring, whatever. Wild Hunt, good option, definitely worth a go if you are too lazy, ow my hand, to get the Marken Ring. All infused with, that has spell damage. Well guys, so fun fact, our weapon damage is going to go even higher on this build, but I have spell damage on here, and every clip that I have with this build is with spell damage on my ring instead of weapon damage, so that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Let's pretend that didn't happen, so just keep in mind that your weapon damage is going to be even higher on this build, guys. Everything else, we've got a couple of sturdy here, a couple of in-pen. I was going sturdy on this because I have a sword and shield, and I figured blocking would be very nice. However, I think well-fitted would do you a little bit better. Let me go ahead and talk real quick about heavy versus medium. Since we are using Clever Alchemist, you can craft either or. If you are going to be using clever or heavy clever, then you could probably benefit more from the sturdy, because you'll be able to tank through a lot more things. If you are going to be using medium clever, you are definitely going to want to use some well-fitted. So reinforced chest, 2 or 3 M-pen, and then fill in everything else with the well-fitted. Highly recommend that. And when it comes to the enchants, obviously stamina on the small pieces, try on the big pieces. Now let's move on from the gear, talk about the skills. Gonna go through this pretty quickly. Start on the back bar because it's very easy, very straightforward. Resolving Vigor, primary heal over time, you know how this works. Elude, if you are using 5 medium, Elude is great. It gives us speed, it gives us major evasion, and it gives us nothing else. Actually, it doesn't give us anything else. That's the stuff it gives us. It gives us speed and major evasion. We like this quite a lot. Makes us tankier, makes us faster. Super good skill. Restoring Focus, this is a heal. This is also a sustain buff and an armor buff. Definitely want this. If you're taking a lot of damage, drop this down on the ground, put up all your heal over times, just stand in this thing, you will not die most times. We've got Extended Ritual, this is our cleanse, another heal over time, and just an all-around useful skill for a lot of things. And Living Dark, this is again another heal over time. This slows people down that hit you. This gives us minor sorcery, you know, it scales off your spell damage, basically. As you saw before, we have quite a big spell damage value on this build, so this is going to heal us for quite a lot. Very, very helpful. And then Sword and Board ult, because Sword and Board ult is just insane. I do not recommend you use any other ultimate. There are other choices. I'm not even going to list them though, because they're a waste of your time and effort. Use Spell Wall, you will not regret it. If you are in heavy armor, drop Elude, pick up Race Against Time. Let's find the Race Against Time. Boom, accelerate, Race Against Time. This will give you the speed and snare removal. Nice, very nice, as well as a little bit of extra crit damage. And since you are going to be in heavy, you'll have better Magicka sustain through, what is it called? Constitution. Anyway, so you should be able to sustain this just fine. And yeah, there you go. If you're in heavy, Race Against Time. If you're a medium, Elude. On the front bar, we've got Rally. This is our burst heal and our major brutality. This thing sucks or is awesome. You will sometimes hit it and it'll heal you to full health, or sometimes you'll hit it and it'll feel like you didn't press any buttons at all, and it'll heal you for about 1k. You'll wonder why you exist on this earth, and you'll die, and you'll contemplate every decision you've ever made in life, and it'll really fuck with you for a good long time. Yeah, but Rally is cool. We like Rally. Then I'm using Power of the Light. This is our great single target burst. You're not always going to have the opportunity to use this, but if you are in an opportunity where you can focus down a single target, this thing is going to make killing that single target so much easier. You put it up on somebody, you go full nuts to butts on them, all the damage, all the pressure, it's gonna pop. This thing will crit for fucking 15, 16k sometimes. Nothing's making it through that. Plus it gives us minor breach, which is really nice. That is some extra pen, and you gotta love it. Then for my stun, I'm using Turn Evil. Ness ESO put me onto this. I used to never like this. There's someone hitting me. There's someone in the room right now. I don't know what that person wants. But anyway, this stuns everyone around you. Is a fear. Who is this? Who the hell? Oh, it's King VNR. Okay. Hello, King VNR. Let's get back to the build, guys. This stuns everyone around you. It goes through block, goes through dodge roll. And it's just very, very, very effective because of the way we use jabs, right? If you jab the shit out of somebody a few times with that power of the light on them, a lot of the time they're going to start blocking to try to not die. And I can't even focus. They're gonna start blocking. You just hit them with one of these real quick, they drop block, you get back to jab and they blow up, it's game over for them. This also gets a lot of people off you, this helps you offense a lot of people all at the same time. Super, super effective stun. It also gives you a little bit of weapon damage just for having it slotted, and I love it. It's a good skill, definitely recommend you try it out. Razor Caltrops, this is an AoE slow, AoE dot, and AoE major breach, so this makes everyone that you were hitting take a lot of extra damage, move slower, and it's just kind of a generally annoying skill for others to deal with. It can be very shitty in 1v1s, but this isn't really a build meant for 1v1s, so yeah. And then, of course, we have the old reliable Biting Jabs. This is our main damage right here. This is your spammable, your execute, this is your everything. You just jab. Literally just jab, guys. That will kill easily 60 to 70% of the players you run into. It's those other 30% where you gotta mix it up and get a little crazy, okay? This goes through dodge roll, this slows people, this hits incredibly hard, this procs Burning Light, everything about the skill is amazing, and it gives us crit when we use it. What else could you really want? Now on the front bar, I do like to swap between Dawnbreaker of Smiting and Crescent Sweep. It really heavily depends on what you are fighting at the time. If I'm playing in a group with a lot of friends, I typically do actually like to use Dawnbreaker because that additional dot and the fact that it sometimes, usually, it will hit harder. It'll hit harder than Crescent Sweep in a lot of situations. If you can land it, it does cost more, which is a pain in the nuts, but it does hit really fucking hard. And it does hit vampires additionally harder. A lot of people are playing vampires, so this is going to be a very noticeable difference in damage. Both are good choices. This will also hike up your weapon damage on your front bar just by having it slotted, but it's really just a preference thing. So yeah, choose whichever one you want to. Both are good ultimates. More often than not, I'm using Crescent Sweep. In groups, I'll typically go to Dawnbreaker. And that is it for the skills. Let's talk about champion points super quick. Green champion points, the least relevant of the bunch. Gifted Rider, War Mount. This, just for quality of life, you want that speed. I don't know what this is. Increased duration on food, I guess. And then you definitely want the reduced fall damage taken, which I don't even have in. So go ahead and grab that bad boy. Over here into the blue CP, I'm not using any healing CP because I don't really feel like I need it. What I'm using instead are 2 mitigation CP. I am using Ironclad to reduce direct damage and Duelist Rebuff to reduce single target damage. So between those two, that'll make things like gankers hit you a lot less. That'll make Dragonites have a hard time because their whips are getting 20% reduction, their dots are getting 10% reduction. Very, very helpful. The only problem you're going to have is something like other Templars, but because of the Ironclad, you are going to have a little bit of mitigation against them. It's all those AoE classes that become a little bit more of a problem because we don't have the AoE CP in, but I feel like with all of the DKs running around, all of the gankers running around, having that extra single target mitigation is just more helpful. Our spell and weapon damage is high enough to carry our healing anyway, so you definitely don't need a healing CP. Just if you have the bonus CP to pick them up, get all the small little healing passives that are littered around in the trees. And then for offense, of course, we have AoE and direct damage, Master at Arms, Biting Aura, go-tos. That is all you need for damage right there. Big boy damage. And then in here, I do not have in Boundless Vitality. I know I have it unlocked, but it is not slotted right now because I decided everything else was a little more important. I like Celerity for the additional movement speed. I like Relentlessness for the major protection every time I get stunned because I don't have it any other way. Then I have Pain's Refuge because, believe it or not, even with Cleanse, you're still going to have 57 dots on you most of the time anyway, so this is a big, big help. And then Sustain by Suffering, just for some additional Magicka and Stamina. Sustain. If you go heavy, you could probably drop Sustain by Suffering and go Boundless Vitality just to push the tankiness. If you were going to swap either of these out, you know, these are the two, basically. These are the flexes. I don't think I'd get rid of Celerity, but Celerity, Sustain by Suffering, Boundless Vitality, those are kind of your pick and choose. Pain's Refuge and Relentlessness, though, you want these no matter what. Those are your big boy mitigation CP, so definitely grab those, and then pick and choose with the others. And, you know, fill in all the passives you can. I'd say blocking passives and cost reduction for break free and whatnot are the most important passives. He's still going. Now, let's just talk real quick about the consumables that I use. Poisons. We do have regular double dot poisons. Here's recipe for those. This is the most pressure you can get. These are crown poisons, but you can craft them as well. Then you've got my poisons that I like to use, double dot poisons. Here's recipe on screen for these. Take a moment, screenshot it, do what you need to do. Food, quick talk about that. 3 choices. I don't have the other one on me right now. Lava Foot. I like this the most because this gives us big stamina, big recovery, almost 500 just from this, and that gives us enough stamina to move our points around in health if we want to, so super, super good food. If you want more health, though, this is another good option right here, or Zorga's Smoked Bear Haunch. This gives us a lot of health. It gives us really good sustain for both of our resource pools, and since we do have a good bit of Magicka abilities being used, this can be quite helpful, very good. And lastly, using Sugar Skulls is a choice that you can make. I don't make it personally because I like to have a sustained food on my Templar, and if you were going to use Sugar Skulls, you would want to pick up the Recovery Mundus Stone to balance it out, but it will give you very, very respectable resources all across the board, and it's definitely a valid option. Potions, 3 important potions I think you're going to want to keep on your Stamplar at all time. They include Tripods. You guys know Tripods, everyone knows Tripods, gives you back health, magic, stamina, like I said, a lot of important mag abilities, so that sustain is vital. Here is a recipe. On to immovability potions. We have, okay, well I've got the Magicka ones on me for some reason. You want to use the stamina ones, the ones that give you health, stamina, and movability. Here is a recipe for those on screen, of course. And then these ones, again, immovability, return stamina, and then the most important little bit right there. Increase your stealth detection radius. Detect pots, guys. Detect pots. There are night blades fucking everywhere. Defend your assholes, fellas. Bring detect pots into PvP at all times. Do not go into PvP without detect pots, ladies, gentlemen. You will get fucking blasted. Bring detect pots. These ones are very expensive, but they are very good. There are other ways to get detect pots that are not this recipe, but this is the one that I recommend. It will cost you a pretty penny to make it, but we're just gonna have to live with that, alright? Your protection is worth every gold, okay? And, yeah, guys, that is it. That is it for the build. The build is over. The build is done. I have nothing else further to say to you guys, except for I love you, and thank you for coming and watching this video. I hope you guys like the build. If you try it out, let me know. Like I said before, it's not the most unique build, it's not super, super insane, but it is strong, it is effective, it is easy to get a hold of most of the way, and it works. So, what else could you really want? If you want to see me play this build, other builds live, twitch.tv/KuroYuki ESO. I'm there all the time. I do a lot of stuff. I do things and stuff. It's me. If you want to support me on Patreon or YouTube channel members, do it, because I love the people that do it. You're all amazing, you know, like I said at the beginning of the video. And other than that, guys, just have a good day. If you don't have a good day, I won't have a good day. I won't be able to sleep at night. And honestly, how would you feel if that was the case? I don't think you'd feel very good about that, would you? No, you wouldn't. So, make sure to have a good day. I love you. Kuro out. Mwah.
I could follow you around like chocolate, that you wanted me smaller.